Hey, Green Machine friends and fans of fun. We had a wild week. Our first employee, Keone, is back. He went off to Marine Corps boot camp, and we sent off an employee, but we welcomed home a brother, and that was nice. He stands a bit taller and speaks with a little more bass in his voice, and it's nice to see. He's grown up quite a bit. On top of that, our other employee, Jacob, came through, and although the guy got a giant gift card for Christmas, he used some of his gift card and then spent some cash. And that was just too sweet. And then our other employee, Nate's been stepping up his game, and he's got a couple more shifts in the store, and he's just the best employee. We have the best employees. What a great store. Yeah. Hey man, can we? I've got my boba tea. This is boba tea mixed with a Coke. I call it a baboke. No, I'm just kidding. That would stop my heart. That would be irresponsible. This is just paint thinner. No. But can we get weird with it? Can you do editing magic if I make you do it?
As long as it's in the beginning, absolutely.
So if I asked you to put a GIF of a cat doing something weird, like jumping or I don't know, just being weird, could you do that?
I can do a total GIF.
Okay. Can you do a picture of a dragon?
Dragon, yeah.
Yeah. And then what else could I make you do? A guy eating an orange, right here. And then Larfleeze of the Orange Lanterns over here.
I haven't been able to find a GIF of that, but.
Oh, okay. And then a literal demon and a horse's butt.
Horse's butt.
Yeah, could you do all that in one shot?
I can. I think I can do that, just like spread it around.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll do that. That won't
I don't know. Just letting him be weird with it. So we got to get to our comics this week. There is it's kind of a light week for comics. We expected this. Apparently, I don't know. Diamond blamed Marvel for something, but we have light Marvel coming for the next couple of weeks, and we're not quite sure why. I kind of wonder. I don't know if somebody's passing the buck or what, but we'll wait and see. But we're definitely light on books this week, so we're gonna go through them and. We're not going to take our time. We're still going to do go, no go, but just a lot of stuff to talk about anyways. So let's go to Archie and Katie Keene. So, Archie, who has been Archie and Sabrina because he's been dating Sabrina for quite some time, and Sabrina has assimilated in Riverdale quite nicely. Her new besties are Betty and Veronica, which is awkward. But there's a new gal on the scene. She's a fashion designer. She looks like high maintenance from this cover. And, she's just trying to sort of find her place in Riverdale. And it seems like Archie is a little bit smitten with him, but he needs to be careful. He's dating Sabrina. He's dating a literal witch. Yeah. That's how you get black magic herpes.
Booty.
Yeah, don't make witches mad, man. That's not the thing to do. Anyways, it's great. I still love this soap opera. There's plenty of cool stuff in this issue. It's the soap opera I like that is Archie, and there's really nothing to complain about here. So come pick it up. It says #1, but it's actually Archie Comics 710. But come pick it up. And I like that they do that. Like, they keep 2 numbers there, so nobody's confused. Why Marvel and DC, take note.
Yeah.
Put the big number for the start of a new arc there, and then just put the actual number in there. Why not?
Well, for some of it, not all of it.
Or just put an icon that says good jumping off point. Why not do that? And then just keep numbers. Come on. Next is, just Jason Aaron, McGinnis, Medina, and Morales, and Keith. And this, of course, is the Avengers. Now, I think I said in the past, I don't really care about Starbrand, and I still don't. That doesn't mean I didn't have a good time with this story. This was actually quite a bit of fun. More importantly, you get to see Blade do something pretty intense and crazy in space. We also get a War Machine suit for another Avenger who definitely deserves that sort of thing, and it looks pretty cool. So there's just a lot to unpack in this issue. It was fun. I had a good time with it. I still don't give a crap about Starbrand, but we'll see where it goes. Issue 29 of the Avengers. Come pick this up. Next is The Question, and it says the deaths of Vic Sage, and we need to talk about this for a minute because what they did with this issue is pretty deep. I'm not sure if it's tied to the main storyline or if there's something else going on. I'm pretty well. It's got to be tied to the main storyline, but there is some weirdness going on here. We have Victor Zsasz in play, who might be an ancestor. And if you don't know Victor Zsasz, I wouldn't say he's the worst Batman villain in that sense, because there are definitely bigger bad, but he's the worst in the most psychotic sense, I would think you could say. He's a serial killer with literally no conscience, none whatsoever. Will kill anyone, like women, children, doesn't matter. He'll kill anyone, and he'll like just mark up his skin. And I think even the Joker has more of a conscience, because isn't there that there's that image of the Joker punching somebody, saying like, do you support Hitler? No way, I might be a villain, but I'm an American villain, and he still decks somebody. So even the Joker might have a bit more conscience than Victor Zsasz. So it's interesting that he might be tied to the Question lore in this. Of course, DC Black Label, not tied to mainline. But I really love this issue. There is so much to talk about with this issue. There is a greater narrative on racism in this storyline, and maybe racism and how the powers that be, the like sheriffs and authority figures in the Old West time, turned a blind eye to a lot of that. And more importantly, like, this issue is very, very emotional and frightening and a really, really good story. And then I came to, I've forgotten about this, but I rechecked, and the artist is Dennis Cowan. And Dennis Cowan is a legend in the industry for Milestone Comics, which was one of the first times they said, like, let's do a universe with people of color, and they're the superheroes, and it was amazing. We had so much good stuff come out of that universe. Static Shock came out of that universe. Hardware. I can't remember all of the good. There's so much. There was like 6 or 7 books. But oh man. So at any rate, Dennis Cowan is a legend, a giant, giant legend. And I have to think that drawing those scenes were probably really emotional. They maybe even took a toll. But the thing about it is you can tell that he put a lot of emotion into it, because it was amazing. It was just a great, great read. And the art was completely on point. And it was frightening, but made me want to know more. And that's the sign of a good story. So the Question book 2 is a must-buy. It might very well be our pick of the week, but it was just amazing, and I can't say enough good stuff about it. Next is a book that I wanted to like, but wasn't amazing to me at all, and that is Iron Man 2020, issue number 1. Now, again, okay, so Tony Stark is back on the bottle. We sort of saw that coming. He had a rough run at the end of Iron Man. And he's lost his business. Stark Industry has gone to his brother Arno, who is working with the enemy, which is Bane Industry. And Arno sucks. I don't like that character at all. I think he's supposed to be like a smugger version of Tony Stark. Maybe kind of like a bastardization of Superior Spider-Man. He feels like knockoff Superior Spider-Man, which is not anything I care for. More importantly, we need to talk about his shoulder plates, because he still rocks those giant shoulder plates, which are like buzzsaws on his shoulders. He has no peripheral vision. Like, somebody's going to ambush him. But at any rate, what does the story entail? Well, there is a robot uprising because some giant AI monster is coming. So he's got to fight a bunch of robots, and I couldn't care less. So I tried. I really, really tried. And, there's a lot of good stuff out of this story. The art was amazing. Like, there's some good art. And, I mean, it's Dan Slott, so we know it's going to get better. It's just not my cup of tea for a book 1. I'm sorry. That's what I'm going to say. Slott, Gage, and Woods, if you really, 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 really need some new Iron Man stuff, and for whatever reason you don't like Tony Stark and you love his brother Arno, come pick this up. Yogi is wide-eyed. I might have been too hard on that book. I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it. Okay. I'm a little bit of a Tony Stark fanboy, and it feels like we're treading on sacred grounds doing this Arno thing. Okay. Next is Freedom Fighters, issue number 12. What did you want from this issue, Yogi?
I wanted freedom.
Did you want Uncle Sam punching Overman in the face?
Yeah.
It's so good. Oh, man. As a veteran who lives my day-to-day life with a giant, I don't know, what would you call it? Patriot, every day I wake up and I rip the head of an American bald eagle off and drink its blood for patriot juice. No, I don't.
I don't wear a jacket outside because I have a thick layer of patriotism.
Thick layer of patriotism. So, okay, as a veteran who likes patriotism, this read is amazing. You get Uncle Sam beating the crap out of Nazis. I've loved everything about this run. Nobody else seems to like it. But I love it, and I didn't like the new Iron Man, so I don't know, maybe my opinion's not worth anything. This is Venditti, Barrows, Faria, and Lucas. Come pick this up. It's the end of the run, and it was awesome. Next is issue 1 of Rising Sun. I had not heard of this comic, but apparently this comic is some kind of board game, because they give you rules at the end of this comic, so that's something to look up, and I thought that was kind of interesting. This basically takes place in feudal Japan, and it involves a bunch of ninja clans, and they're all very different. There is like the Lotus clan, the Koi clan, what was it, Bonsai clan? Yeah, so they all have cool names. They all have cool looks. They're fighting a dragon in parts of this story. One of them looks kind of like the Last Airbender. I'm not sure why, but it was a really, really fun read. I wasn't bored. There's a lot of excitement, and there's a lot of Type A personalities bumping heads. So the art was just insanely good. I'm shocked actually how good it was. I liked every second of it. It's some good art. This is IDW, and this is Mars, Rodriguez, Cocolo, and Mehao. I want to know more. I would say this is a must-buy if you like anything like this. It's a great read. Justice League Odyssey is our next book, and this is Abnett, Conrad Barreto, and this is issue number 17. Now, wow, Jessica Cruz has had a long run, and she recently got captured by Cyborg, who is not really talking anymore. He's become the god of knowledge, and all he says is ping, ping, ping. So, I don't know. He became the god of knowledge, and now he just talks too fast to, like, converse normally, maybe?
Wow.
Yeah. God of knowledge, but can't really speak. Anyways, it was a pretty good read. I'm still not bored. I love the fact that Dextar's on the team, and we've got a new character called Gamma Knife. But one of the other things you get to see that was really kind of cool is you get to see Orion belt out. And man, Orion can belt out. That was something else. So yeah, Justice League Odyssey issue 17 is a must-buy if you like the Space Justice League stuff. It's pretty good. Next is Revenge of Cosmic Ghost Rider. This is Hopeless, Hepburn, and Fabella. You remember the last run of Cosmic Ghost Rider where it was just like him telling stories and and they were just he was embellishing everything and it was kind of cheesy. And we didn't really have the best time with that. I mean, it was okay. It just wasn't great. This is the polar opposite of that in the sense that this is amazing. My God, is this amazing. This issue in particular was awesome. There is just a lot to unpack. Ghost Rider himself, Cosmic Ghost Rider, who is Frank Castle, has found an innocent soul in space. And he's trying to protect this innocent soul and keep them from killing people while he's fighting off like hordes of things. So he's killing a bunch of things, and this person is like, "What? Why don't you let me go? I could do some damage." And he's like, "You don't understand. You're an innocent soul. I'm not going to let you ruin your soul." And she's like, "Well, You don't get to decide this. And that's cool to see. I want to know where they're going with that. I think they're setting this character up to be something else. And I want to know if she's going to get powers. This issue is amazing. It was awesome. This is everything we wanted out of Cosmic Ghost Rider. It felt like the first Cosmic Ghost Rider run at times, but with a little less confusion, because all that time jumping stuff was pretty wild, the time sliding stuff. Anyways, issue number 2, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider. Come pick this up. It's amazing. Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. This is Dugan, McCree, Spicer, Sabino. This is my man, Dead Eyes, formerly known as Dead Rabbit, who we are on issue 4. We have not read any of these issues. We had only read up to 2 before the Dead Rabbit run had come to an end. And I'm not disappointed at all. The last issue had him ambushing mafia members with nitrous oxide in a hospital. Jerry Duggan really thinks outside of the box a lot. He's wild with the way he thinks things through. This is no different. He handles stuff in really messed up, twisted ways, which are quite good. There is so much of the Punisher in this character. It's a Boston Punisher is what it really feels like. It's really, really good. This is the same thing. I can't spoil too much about it, but I will say that this wraps up a bow nicely on the whole him being blamed for missing money. And that was kind of fun. More importantly, he uses a circular saw in a fight in a really messed up way. So I'm going to leave that out there. I really think you got to come pick this up. Plus the backs always look so cool. They have such a cool aesthetic with this comic. I hope it never ends. I hope this is an ongoing for like 20 years. Anyways, this is Image. Come pick this up. Dead Eyes number 4 is amazing. Next is Jane Foster Valkyrie, issue number 4, and oh my god, there is so much cool stuff out of this. First of all, the art is amazing. We've known that the whole way through. The storyline is really, really awesome. If you can't tell, these are Marvel's medics. We've got like Excalibur on the team. What's his name? The Cardiac, I think is his name. Hey, we should really just call him Marvel's Blue Beetle, because that's what he looks like. Marvel's Blue Beetle right there. And then Night Nurse, who's right there. I can't for the life of me remember that dude. Oh, I got 1 minute. Oh, well, we'll relaunch the recording in a second. I had a mouthful of boba when we came back. And who's this guy on top? I've never heard of him.
Surgeon Supreme, I believe.
Oh, Surgeon Supreme. That's right. That's right. Good old Doc Strange right there. So they've assembled the medical team, and the reason for that is because one facet of the Living Tribunal, Death, is dying. That has all sorts of implications. What would you do if Death was dying? Would you put him out of his misery so that nobody dies, or would you find that that was worse suffering?
I think that's worse suffering.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, big time.
So they've got a lot of it's a deep moral question. More importantly, there is something really, really amazing here. Now, if you don't know,
this is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back.
there are two brands that have recently cheated Death in the Marvel Universe. Cheated it in the most wild of ways, like ripped themselves from it. One of them is Big and Green, and the other one involves the goofiest mutant of all, Gold Ball. So, those two brands are what is making Death sick. And if you don't know, you need to come pick it up, but that's the reference there. And I just wanted to sort of, I'm sorry, it's a little spoilery. Could you maybe preface that with a spoiler thing, maybe? But it's a little spoilery, but I feel like if you're not reading those other two brands, you won't know what they mean when they show that. And it was really, really cool to see the flashback to that. There might be another one in there that I'm missing. But anyways, you get the gist of it. Jane Foster Valkyrie, almost a must-buy this week if you're a Marvel fan. They're still fleshing out her powers. She's still seeing strange stuff, and things are getting used in different ways. And then, go figure, this is Ewing, Aaron, Perez, and Albertov. If you don't know Ewing, he's working on Immortal Hulk. And if you don't know Jason Aaron, you live under a rock. He's working on almost everything. Almost everything. And whatever he's not working on, Donny Cates is working on. So there you go. Come pick this up. Next is Teen Titans. This is Glass Chang. Hannah and Mayalo. And this is, well, we had theories about who Leviathan was going to be, right? And one of them was a really, really big one involving a clone of Damian Wayne or Damian Wayne from the future. The other was answered in the last issue, and it was pretty much what we thought Leviathan was going to be. So, it's cool. But the real implication here is, does Damian accept the mantle of the other, and what will that entail? Well, you're going to have to read this to find out. It's awesome. Jin still hasn't been freed, sad face. But they're going to tackle that eventually, and the team is finally coming back together after breaking apart because they discovered Damian's secret prison. I think that was the catalyst. That and killing Deathstroke for, I don't know, the 100th time. Anyways, Colin picked this up. It was great. Next is Ruins of Ravencroft Sabertooth, where we asked the question, what would the Gimp from, what was that? Pulp Fiction. What would the Gimp from Pulp Fiction look like if he was Wolverine? He'd look like this. Okay. Now that we've gone over how scary and weird that cover looks, let's talk about the story. Ravencroft is, well, it's the insane asylum of the Marvel Universe. Has housed a lot of wicked people. They've found experimentations. It was tied to the Absolute Carnage run. And apparently its history is really twisted and messed up. Really twisted and messed up. Go figure. An insane asylum before they put Marvel regulations on them. Anyways, so this is Tierra Unzieta, Sana, and Rosenberg. This is a really, really good read, but it's a story I didn't know I want. So if you don't want this weird lore in Ravencroft, you could skip it, but I thought it was pretty good. I had an okay time with it. Next is Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons. This is issue number 4, and just like the last one, it's ending after issue number 4. Sad face, because it's amazing, but they left an opening. So in this, we have the big battle of them all. Meanwhile, Rick is decided to multi-class. Yeah, you can tell it from the cover. He's Wizard Fighter Rogue Cleric. See what he did there? Yeah, it's awesome. It's really, really fun. You get Rick Sanchez being Rick Sanchez. More importantly, you get a Rick and Morty comic that feels more like the Rick and Morty show, which is weird to say because the comics on the shelf don't always feel that way to me. But these D&D ones, they knock it out of the park. Who is writing these? I don't know.
But if a subscriber can let me know if anyone has ever played those player stat sheets, I'd like to know.
I would like to know if anyone... Well, you couldn't play this one. Jesus, plus 9 strength.
Or could you?
Plus 4 int, plus 4 con, plus 4 dex. Oh my god. Anyways, this is written by Jim Zub. Leonard Ito is the colorist. Troy Little is the illustrator. And lettered by Crank. His name is Crank with an exclamation point. Okay. At any rate, this is awesome. I sure hope they do a third. Man, I wish they would just do a running D&D comic. Like, I would read that endlessly. Go make a whole season of just D&D on the television.
I think I saw some art.
On the television. I sound like my grandfather. On the television.
I saw some D&D style art on Instagram from Rick and Morty. So
maybe. I hope so. God, I hope so. Anyways, come pick this up. It was outstanding, but you won't find the character sheet one because I'm taking it. Sorry. Next is Flash Forward Wally West. This is Wally West's redemption arc. He landed on a planet in the Dark Multiverse that was sort of being swallowed up by the Black and coming back out of it. And that planet has his kids on it, which is a kick in the junk because his kids vanish like that universe didn't exist, and that was the beginning of the whole Rebirth run. And Wally West was the linchpin. He came out of the Speed Force and was like, dude, like we need to, it's like something's wrong here. I'm about to fade away. So that's rough. It's really rough. And more importantly, would you destroy something like that if it meant like fixing the universe but breaking your heart? Could you? I don't think I could. Yeah. So that's again a deep moral question out of this comic that is really really cool. The art is amazing. This is Lobdell Booth, Rapmund, and Guerrero. The art is amazing. The story is really awesome. We finally get to what's that guy's name? The guy that's controlling all of this, the Dark Multiverse. What's his name? I can never remember his name. This dude, the guy that was tied to Sideways, though. Yeah, I can't remember his name. He's such a weird dude. He gave Wally West the staff, and Wally finally really butts heads with him, and it's well deserved. I mean, if you don't give people answers and you're just like, yo, you need to save the universe. Well, how? Go do it. You're a jerk, man. Anyways, issue 5, Flash Forward. It's a great read. If you haven't been on board with the series, come pick up some back issues. I think we got a few, maybe. Next is Venom the End. We're getting towards that go or no-go list, but we need to talk about this one. This one is awesome. These are all what happens at the end of life for these specific heroes. And in this case, there's 2 heroes tied in here. There's Eddie Brock and Venom. I guess 2 anti-heroes, you could say.
Yeah.
And what happens after? Well, what happens after is super unexpected. It's hard to talk about this without spoiling it, so let's just do spoiler wording real fast. But
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back.
they, oh god, I want to talk about it so bad. So Venom, keep in mind, it shows Venom's hosts and their compatibility rating, to include Peter Parker, which has a compatibility rating of 1 star. Go figure. And he sort of goes down the history of Venom and the different hosts and sort of what happened to the different hosts and this and that. And then he decides to step up his game and start possessing people with special powers and expanding on that. And one in particular who is a Rosenberg creation, who is kind of a well-known jerk in the mutant sphere, is sort of a genius thing for Venom to bind himself to. And it goes from there. So it's totally worth reading. It's genetic Venom at the end of the universe, and I had a good time. Again, though, Marvel is going heavy on the whole, the AI is going to destroy the universe. Like, that's a theme in this one, too, and it was the same thing in the Iron Man 2020, which is not as good as this. Anyways, come pick this up. It was awesome. This is Warren Cruz and Guru Effects. I had a good time, but you get this really cool Venom suit, too, where he's got, like, DNA strands on him, which I thought was very appropriate. You're going to have to come see why. The last book before we do our go and no-go list is Jessica Jones' Blind Spot, and it says parental advisory, not for kids. If you don't know that Jessica Jones is not for kids, you're a bad parent. There has been so much twisted stuff in her backstory. Don't buy your kids Jessica Jones. Buy them Luke Cage, who she's married to.
I know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I have questions. There was a fight between Luke Cage and her kid over a brand of cereal, and I don't know. Does Jessica Jones have a child with autism?
No.
It sounded very similar to like stuff I deal with my son, and I kind of wondered. That's worth looking up. Would be really cool if they did that sort of inclusion in there. Nonetheless, we need to talk about the art because, my God, the artist definitely did not dial it in. The art is amazing. This is like everything I want out of a Jessica Jones comic. It's brilliant art. Kelly Thompson and Maria de Lewis. The storyline's really good too. We do get the same tropes of, well, Jessica Jones is in hot water with the law, and she's sort of got to play by their rules, but she also doesn't want to at times. We know these tropes. These are constant tropes for Jessica Jones. But the way the storyline is unfolding, I'm really interested in it, and I'm just happy to see her back in ink. Like, it was great. So this is, again, I think this is a must-buy this week. If you were an adult, this is a must-buy this week. So come pick it up. And then now we'll do the go or no-go list. Let's start with Aliens versus Predator. Go.
Yes.
This was space cruise gets interrupted by predators versus aliens. Totally not bored. Although it seems like two of the few survivors are kids. A kid and a synth kid. Synth, right? Yeah. So go. It's awesome. Harrow County. Go if you like Harrow County. I think it's amazing. I'm having a great time with it. This is some Harrow County wickedness. Go. Bloodshot. I'm already reading this. And wait, who's playing? Vin Diesel. I'm already reading. I can hear Vin Diesel's voice when I'm reading Bloodshot. It's weird like that. So, anyways, this is Bloodshot issue 5. Go. It's great. Next is He-Man and the Masters of the Multiverse. Go. My God, this is an awesome multiverse event, and I love everything about it. All the different takes on He-Man are awesome. Go. Next is Black Widow Prelude. The Prelude books are weird. Let's talk about this for a second. Usually the Prelude books that wind up in the store happen to be movies that happened before. Part of this does that. It's still part of a movie storyline. You totally know it. I don't know why people buy these. Because they want a piece of the movie, but it's generally like, you've seen this story already on the big screen. Why would you just go? Well, okay. But this one does do things a little bit differently. It was interesting. Didn't like the art. It's kind of go if you really need a prelude to Black Widow. If you're an art snob like me, you might not like it. I don't know. This is David Villa and Sotomayor. It's sort of on the fence. Next is Undiscovered Country. Go. My God. Snyder, Soul, Comencoli, Orlandini, Wilson, Crank. There's some weird mythos going on in this apocalyptic America. Go. It's really wild to see. Flash, 86. Go. Flash throws a punch in this that was like the 3-generation punch of Justice League 25. It was amazing. Okay. Go. Glow, the baby face. I'm as somebody who used to watch Glow growing up, I'm still struggling to get into this series. I like the mainline one, I think, a little better. I don't know, it's a little weird. But again, I'm a little confused as to who the characters are because I haven't watched the new Netflix show. I just know from my childhood. So on the fence. If you really love the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, come pick it up. The Legion of Superheroes, issue number 3. Go. There is so much weirdness to unpack. It's not like a bad story. It's just weird. It's a weird future. There's strangeness afoot in this story. Go. Rom, Dire Wraiths. I don't know how to describe this. It was like Power Rangers in space meet The Thing.
What?
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. I didn't like the art either. No, I take it back. I'm looking at it now. It's okay. It just feels a little generic. Rom, Dire Wraiths, maybe? I don't know. The Low Woods, Cameron Maria Makado, Danny Tamra Bonvillain. Go. Again, the Hill House stuff is really, really good. There isn't a lot of action in this, but I really, really want to know where they're going with this story because it's wild. Go. Sorry, I'm getting the hiccups. I'm fighting the hiccups. Oh! We got our spinner back.
Yes.
Hooray! So we're going to do our drawing. We have posters this week. It's amazing. 264.
All right, we are looking at Tom Hall.
Tom Hall, you won a poster. 38.
Joshua Dare. He's come back.
Joshua Dare, you won a poster.
All right.
And 256.
That would be Jacob Noonan.
Jacob Noonan, Jacob Noonan won a poster.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good job, Noonan.
this is a good dude. Okay, so that's our show for this week, I guess.
And
Should we do that?